Welcome back to Talent Underground. I'm your host, Joseph Sayoun, and today I'm joined by an incredible guest. I'd like to welcome Nadia Faour, a children's book author whose work is all about celebrating diversity, inclusion, and cultural identity. In her new book, Zara's Crown, it's part of a collection of beautifully crafted stories that instill kindness, confidence, and a sense of belonging into young readers. Through her storytelling and work such as My Watermelon Farm and Zara's Crown, Nadia is helping to shape a world where children see themselves represented in literature and embrace their cultural roots with pride. Today, we're going to dive into the inspiration behind her books, the importance of diverse storytelling, and what impact she hopes to make. Nadia, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, thank you.
How was that intro? Is that good?
Oh my God. I don't know. I'm still pinching myself at times. Yes.
Incredible what I think you're doing. So I'm just curious. Let's jump straight into it.
Sure.
What inspired you to start writing stories that delve into topics as deep as they do?
Look, we never had books like this as I was growing up. And I work in the space where I read a lot of young children, a lot of books, preschool age and little, primary school kids. And I never read a book that has meaning to me or to the young children that I service. So we used to do a lot of playgroups, remote playgroups in different areas where we target an area where children are not exposed to early literacy. And we go around and teaching them the importance of early education. And I was always reading books that don't resonate with the children I'm working with or the families who have just newly arrived from either Afghanistan, Iraq, from the Middle East, and a lot of the parents and grandparents wear the hijab. So I thought, well, I have to create something, I have to publish something, I have to bring something out there for the kids to see themselves in books, to see their parents, their mums, to make them feel that like a sense of belonging.
Yeah, and you've done a great job in doing so. One thing I've noticed is that you have recurring characters. Zara is a very recurring character. So I'm personally just curious as to not just how that character came about, because I know that you also dedicate a lot of books to people. Your brother, who passed away, you've based books with mental health awareness involved in them. Where do characters and themes for your books originate from?
Look, it starts off as an idea. And sometimes most of the inspiration comes from lived experiences. Zahra came about because I wanted to empower these young girls who have lack of confidence. So all these books have themes and concepts that can relate to every single child that we have from all various cultures. And the one that I really, really feel that I really need to portray is the confidence and self-esteem. And I wanted to target that through Zara. Zara has a lot of adventures, and each book has a different concept and different way of self-expression and reflection. And with this book, Sunflower Kisses, that is mental awareness, and that's because it's touched me in so many ways, whether the children I service, because I used to work with children in early intervention, help families access children to serve certain allied health practitioners. And I just wanted to create something that's friendly, something that kids can pick up and see themselves, whether it's about their emotions, about their character, about uplifting, empowering them to make them feel good and that they belong. I don't want them to feel that they're alone.
Yeah, look, I think that's a beautiful cause,
Thank you.
honestly.
Thank you.
So you've published a large amount of books, one of them being My Watermelon Farm, which is something that I was personally very interested in reading about. You spoke about the difficulties in getting it published due to the emotions surrounding what's currently happening, the ongoing crisis in Gaza. What sort of challenges did you face in getting that book published, whether that be personal, whether that be, I guess, from other factors?
Sure. Look, fear of judgment, that's number one. Being judged of what the type of narratives you write. Sometimes we get clashed if we're mingling with certain people who are against, whether they're pro for the cause or against for the cause. And I was writing this book for years, and I didn't bring it about until I actually made up my mind 3 years ago. And 3 years ago, Palestine didn't occur a year and a half ago. It occurred a long time ago, and I'm part from a Middle East where it's also been occupied, and it runs in our roots. So I wanted that expression, the emotions, and these young kids that we have, they listen to the parents at home. They know what's going on. They see the TV, and you can't silence them. Their voices, their diverse voices, need to be heard. So I try to craft a book that not only it's child friendly, but it targets the emotions. I wanted to bring out the courage, the resilience, the determination to stand up for what they believe in. And I wanted to build that character. I introduced a new character. Her name is Alia in that book, and her friend Nord. And they're on a mission to try and protect their farm. But anyone reading the book, that underlying hidden meaning, they would understand that it's because it's based in Gaza, in Palestine, but it's about standing up for what you believe in.
Yeah. And I also noticed within that book, there's a lot of imagery used. It's a massive part in all your works. I'm just curious as to you. So you have an illustrator who does Does it vary from book to book? And what sort of role do you have in creating the imagery, the symbolism, and the actual work?
Look, I'm an educator for 25 years in early childhood, and I'm very hands-on. I'm very creative, so I draw a lot. But with the illustrations, I wanted to outsource it because moving into this century, everything's technical at the moment. And these illustrators, they no longer draw on, freehand. They're actually on digital platforms like Midjourney or devices like Procreate on an iPad, and all these technical components and platform I don't know how to use. So with that, we worked hand in hand. So every spread, every cover, every inspiration, every idea went into each page.
Yeah.
We worked together. That's why it took so long to produce.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to capture different illustrators, because everyone has different techniques and different styles, and everyone's vision is different to my vision. So I had to work with them because this is the way I wanted to portray it. It took me 4.5 months to create the character Zahra. And that, for me, was a lot. And because I'm such a perfectionist, I didn't want anything.
Yeah.
And the illustrator I had, she's never drawn or illustrated a children's book with Muslim characters.
Interesting.
So most of their works are for African American overseas, because my illustrator isn't from Australia. Whereas Sunflower Kisses is an Australian artist, very young. I encouraged her.
Yeah.
She can draw, but she needed some techniques. So I said, look, I have a manuscript, let's work together. And so we did lots of revisions, and it was a lot easier because she was in the country. So we went out for coffee, spent hours and hours going through every spread, what I want, and I changed a lot. And she was very patient with me because there was a certain way I wanted to deliver it.
Yeah, for sure.
The cover, the copy page, everything in there had my touch in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely just looking at the illustrations, you can tell how thoughtful and how everything seems deliberate in a way. It all seems like everything is there for a reason. So in doing work and writing stories that are as deep and as thoughtful as the stuff you've done, surely you have some sort of memorable moments and it's stuck with you, whether that be from someone telling you that the messages resonated with them, something along those lines potentially? Yes,
100%. Look, with my watermelon farm, I'll tell you something that I haven't told anyone yet, so I'm telling it on air. This wasn't my first... the watermelon farm went through a big journey, a lot of obstacles and challenges. I did create it. I did illustrate it with an illustrator from the UK called Aisha Haydar. She illustrated the whole book, and we went through revisions. It took her 2 years to have that book. At the end, I looked at it. Every time we did a revision, I had to settle because I wasn't 100%. My heart wasn't in the book.
Yeah.
When I received the book and I wanted to start publishing it and taking it to the printing company, I thought, that's it. I can't. It doesn't matter about the money I paid. It doesn't matter all the nights, the late nights, because, time zones. You're up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't feel comfortable bringing it up because she didn't portray the Palestinian culture the way I wanted it in there. I wanted to make them feel like it's a farm. And she didn't capture my vision. And because I'm so perfectionist, I really wanted that vision. So I outsourced it to another illustrator. So this book took me double the length and time, because I wanted to make sure that this is not only my name, but it's something I really deeply feel meaningful to me. And I wanted to portray it in a way that it can resonate with all the young children, to feel that there's something out there for them to pick up and remember the children of Gaza, remember what's happening, because it's still ongoing and it's just heartbreaking.
It definitely is. And I mean, like I said, I feel like you've definitely captured it in a way that is very easy for a child to understand, and also people who do understand the crisis can look at it and see it from a child's perspective, which I think is beautiful. So can you tell us a little bit more about your upcoming book launch and what people can expect heading into this weekend?
Absolutely. I was waiting for you to ask
take it away.
This is very exciting for me. It's my first book launch. As you know, Zahra, I released it in April last year. Mm-hmm. So it was the first of a series of 4 books. This year in April, I'm releasing, I'm very excited to announce actually that I'm doing a book launch. And it's not a book launch where I wanted to just have people here, have a look at the books, do some book signing and send them off. I wanted to create a community event. I've been in with early childhood for 25 years. So for me, and it comes second nature to have table activities, workshops related to the themes and concepts of the books. So I have a Palestinian workshop, I have another table activity about acts of kindness because sunflower kisses are all about spreading kindness. I have a lot of self-reflection. I have hijab styling. So there's all these table activities, but also there's henna, face painting, hair braiding. There'll be a lot of food like, acai, popcorn,
Beautiful, nice.
fairy floss. There'll be children's performances. So from 1:45 to 2:45, I just went through that schedule yesterday. There'll be a children's performance from Learning Blade. There's a big mascot where he'll be doing a little show for an hour
Nice.
and meet and greet with the kids, all about acting kind and bring joy and cheer to the children.
Yeah.
We wanted them to feel comfortable and we wanted them to feel that it's a day for everyone, not just me. You know, they can pick up a book anytime. It doesn't have to be at the book launch. But I've also got a lot of special offers. So for those who pick up the bundle of Zahrat's collection, they'll get a 25% off for the whole book, but they'll also get a gift bag. So for the whole few weeks, I've been, gathering all these great gifts in the gift bags for all these young ladies. So there's 2 book bundles. The independent books and the Zara series bundle. So there's books available. There'll be storytelling. I'll be doing 2 storytellings. There'll be also prizes and giveaways. I have bags of toys to give away. I have great support from the community who believed in my mission. I have a lot of sponsors, Canberra Bankstown is a sponsor. Froggy Tuition is a sponsor who will be having some of their kids, their boys, doing a nasheed. I have young girls choir as well doing a nasheed. It's going to be a big community affair, and it's right befitting, Naid weekend, so people can come in and go. It's from 10 to 4. It's at George's Hall Community Centre, and it's just one of those feel-good places to be.
Yeah, for sure. Look, it definitely seems like the very meticulously thought out event. I can just tell you put so much time.
So passionate about this
You're
because
passionate.
I wanted the kids to feel welcomed. I want them to feel confident, and it's all about empowering these kids to be confident and speak up. We have art competitions. We have paint on canvas competitions, and people have sent me submissions, and there's going to be teachers also giving out the judges. The judges will be actually giving out prizes, so I've got great prizes for them.
Look, Nadia, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. It definitely sounds like this event is going to hit. Everyone's going to love it so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate the work you've been doing as well a lot. So everyone back home, you can find Nadia on Instagram at Nadia's Narratives. You can also attend the event this weekend. Like she said, it's perfect timing, I believe.
Absolutely.
Eid weekend.
Kids are out and about.
That's it.
Pop in.
Well, look, I've been Joseph Sayoun. That's been Nadia. This has been Talent Underground. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys very shortly. Nadia, is there any closing words or anything you wanted to say just to wrap things up?
No, just enjoy your weekend. It would be great to pop in and